Hi everyone, today's tutorial is based on this Cherubim and Seraphim cap. So I've not ironed it here, but this is how it came out. I did not remember to take a video after ironing. I'm sorry about that. But this is how it came out after I was done sewing it. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are new here and like my video. Thank you. These are all the materials needed for today's tutorial. I have the fabric here, the white garment fabric. So I have the pin, I have my scissors, my chalk, then this elastic. So I measure this elastic 4.5 inches that I'll be using for the back. So I have the sleeve too. I have the sleeve. So you can use add stay to make your cap. But I'm using sleeve for this tutorial. So this is how it looks like. It has gum on this side and plain on the other side. So if you are cutting only the cap, you can use 1 yard, but I just cut out the body. So this one is based on the cap measurement on the cap tutorial. So now I'll be cutting 2 cap, that's double. I'm going to be doubling the cap. I'll be putting add stay on one, I mean the sleeve on one, then the second one there won't be sleeve on it. So I'm going to be using the wideness of the cap to do 21 inches. So the wideness of the cap depends on how wide the person wants it. This person does not want it too wide. She does not want it too wide. So that's why I'm making 21 inches for the wideness. So in case the person wants it very wide, you can make it 24 inches. But I would advise it shouldn't be more than 24 inches. It won't be good if the cap is too wide. Okay, so I'm folding it again. I'm cutting 2 at a time. So if you are cutting only one, please, if you are cutting only one, just cut out only this and fold it into 4. But now I'm placing these 2 together because I'm cutting out 2 at a time. So this is 10.5. That's 21 divided into 2, giving me 10.5. So I'll measure the 10.5 round. So I'll have a big circle when I'm done cutting. So the pleat, the tiny pleat on the cap, I'm making that 72 inches for the length. So that's what I normally use. I use 72 inches for the length. So I'm having 60 inches here. Just cut out 72 inches and then I'll be joining this since it's not to 72 inches. So you can make the wideness 2.5 inches. So I'll cut it out now. I'll cut the length 72 and this wideness 2.5 inches after folding. So if I open it up, I'll have 5 inches. I hope you understand. So I just cut out the band of the cap. So the band of the cap, a cap is 22 inches. So 22 divided by 2 plus 2 gave me 13 inches. So I folded this into 2. That's why I did divided by 2. So plus the 2. So that's 13 inches. So divided by 2 is 11. Y plus 2 is 13 inches. So I made the wideness 5.5 inches. So you can also make it 5 inches. You can also make it 6. But you shouldn't exceed those 3. 5, 5.5, 6. So this is the sleeve. I'm cutting one of this. I made the wideness 10.5 inches, just like I did to the cap. So instead of 2, now I'll be cutting out one of this. So I'm going to gum this on the cap. I'll go ahead and gum it on the cap now. Then I'll iron it. So this is the shiny part. It's going to be facing the back of this cap. So in case you are not using the same fabric for this cap, like you're using a different fabric for the inside and the normal fabric for the outside, use the lining part. That's the inner part, is the one that you're going to gum this ST on. I mean the Steve on. Some people too gum it on this, but I prefer gumming it on this lining part, the inner part, so that it will not have this wrinkles. You know, when you gum stay on clothes, it wrinkles. So as long as it's on the inside, I don't have a problem with that. So let's go into the sewing part, guys. So guys, this is the 72 inches one. I already joined it. So I have 72 inches in total here. So I'm going to join it together like this. This long one, I'm going to join the tip together. So once I'm done with that, I'll just place it like this and sew it round. So this is where I started from. When I sew it around, this is where it ended. So now what I'm going to do next is get the middle points. So I'll be folding it like this and fold it in 4 places like this. So I'll notch here. Then notch here. So I have 4 notched places. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one I've already ironed it so that it will give me the 4 tips or this angle. So this is the part that I added the stay. So this is the upper part. So now I'll be picking pleats randomly. Our head is 22 like I said earlier, but I'll be making it 24 inches. Like I'll be adding extra 2 inches so that by the time I sew it, it will, by the time I put the elastic, it has to be wider than the 22 inches. So if the person's head is 23 inches, you have to make it 25 inches so that it will be wider. By the time you sew it finish, it's going to shrink. So it's going to be firm on the person's head. So this one is 24 inches now. So 24 inches divided into 4, because this I have 4 gaitered lines here. So that's 6 inches. So from here to here now, I have to like do pleats of 6 inches. So I'm just going to be picking pleats randomly. So you can also pin this down so that it doesn't shift. So now I need to have 12 inches. So you just pick the pleats randomly. It's not necessary you make your pleats as wide as this one. It can be tiny. Depends on what the person wants. So now I have 12 inches here. So I'm just going to go ahead and pleat it again around another 12 inches. So that will be 24 inches. So this is what I have after I was done sewing it. So this is the outer part. This is the outer part that does not have stay. But this is the part that has the stay. So what I'll do next, this one, I'm going to pleat this too. So here I should have 24 inches. Okay, so I have 12 inches. That's folded into two, 24. So this one too, whatever I'm pleating from here to here, to the next notch part has to be 6 inches. So just like that, it has to be 24 inches too. So like I said earlier, in case you are using a head of 21, it will be 23 inches, not 24. It's because I'm using a head of 22 inches. That's why I added 2 inches to it to make it 24. Okay, so I have 6 inches there. So I have 12 inches here. So I have 12 inches. Then I'll continue again round. So guys, I'm done sewing it round. So after measuring it, I have that 12 inches. So I'm going to place it inside. So what I just did was just to place the split inside, then sew it round. So this is what I have. Once I bring it out, I'll have something like this. You can see that it's already forming already. Okay, but I'm still keeping it inside. So this is the band part. So the band is 24. That's divided into 12. So this down part, I'm just going to come in by half an inch so that it will be, I'll explain. So if you have watched my other cap tutorial, you understand this part. So I'm going to like slant it here so that I don't have issue when I'm joining the band. So once I'm done with that, I'm still going to leave this exactly as it is. So this 12 inches part, I'm going to wear it on it like this. So now this back of this cap, that's the inside of the cap, will be facing the front of this band. So this is the 12 inches part, while this is the 11.5 inches part. So this is how I'm going to wear it on it. Then I'll go ahead and sew it round. So I'm done sewing it. I've sewed it round half inch by half inch. So now the thing I'll do next is just to bring this out. So if you like, you can pin it down round first, or you can go ahead and sew it. So I'll just place the band on it like this, and I'll sew it round. So this part that I'm sewing, before I finish sewing it round, I'll insert my elastic inside. So just insert it in a way that is going to be in the middle of this line, like the elastic started here and ended here. So I'll now sew it. So I've completed the sewing. So this is still the inside, while this is the outside. So now I cannot bring it out. Final. So this elastic part, I'm first going to pin down one side, then I'll shift it. So I'm going to shift the elastic inside. So this is the elastic inside, so I'm trying to like shift it so that it's going to stretch. It's already like stretching inside. So guys, I'm done with this. So I had to like stretch this part. Then when I'm done with it, I had to stretch the other part too, so that it's going to be on the middle point. Okay. So the wideness of the cap, like I said earlier, is 22. That's the normal cap measurement. But now I'm going to reduce this. I must not make it that 22, or else it will be falling on the person's head. So I reduce this to like 20 inches. So by the time I stretch it, it's going to be on that 22 inches. So I made it 20 inches. So when I stretch it, it's going to be firm on the person's head. I hope you understand. Don't make it that 22 inches exactly, or else it's going to be falling from the person's head. So after I remove the pin, I'm just going to triple stitch on it like this. I'm just going to take my stitching and triple stitch. So I've stitched it down. I've also stitched this part too down. So that's just all. So this is optional. You can just place a machine on this and just like do one stitching round like this, or you may just leave it like this. So I'll be leaving this like this. I'll be leaving the cap like this. So this is the final look of the cap. So this is just the final look. So all it needs now is ironing. So I'm just going to arrange the pleats and iron it down. That's all for this tutorial. So I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thank you.